I used to get that when I was like 12, I remember. Like,
I don't know, like when it starts out, you sort of have, for me at least, like it was a kind of rebellious thing. Like I'm gonna go on the internet. That's how I'm gonna spend my time. My parents don't want me to.
I don't know. I grew up in kind of a techie house, so we always had the internet from pretty early on, and like any child, I was like it's even worse today. Like my nephew is always getting banned from the computer because he spends too much time playing Minecraft and stuff. And but eventually, once my parents were really cool about it, and once they realized I was being creative with the internet and not getting stalked by people, they kind of just let me do whatever I want. But they were still like trying to encourage me, like go outside and stuff. You'll still have time to do what you want. But so yeah. Any more? Right.
When I was in college in 2002, the funniest thing in the world to me was a flash animation called Gonads and Strife. And I often wonder if I were confronted with it now, in 2012, if I would just completely pass over it and not give it a second thought, because there's such a glut of just pure, low, random humor out there on the internet. And I'm wondering if you feel the same fatigue, like that kind of thing just doesn't do it for you anymore because anybody can make a video like that.
Kind of. Like it's like I look at the stuff I used to make back in the Gonads and Strife era, and I remember that video, and I remember it being stupid but funny. And yeah, it's kind of like that. Last ROFLcon, I did a panel, and they introduced me by playing the first viral video I made, which was Hyakugo Juichi, which was the Animutation. And it's like 4 minutes long, and there's like a total of like 15 images in it total. So it's pretty sparse by today's standards. And just like sitting there, and they played the entire thing. Like everybody else on the panel like got a 30-second clip, and they're just playing this weird dated cartoon I made. So I definitely got that sense that nobody would watch something so stupid today. But it's also easy to kind of like look at it from a historical perspective and kind of like draw from Animutation to YouTube poop to I guess I don't know. If you have enough time to look at stupid old internet things and figure out how they're relevant, then it's kind of interesting. And some Animutations still make me laugh just because they're so stupid. I use the word stupid more than any other word. Any more questions?
I guess I actually wanted to ask about that. Like the way you frame it is like, oh, we just make it stupid, but that doesn't always work. And in order for it to be popular, there has to be this inherent language of stupidity, and the way it's handled. And I was wondering if you could talk a little more about when you use the word stupid, like when is it acceptable, when is it not, and why?
I think stupid is a good thing on the internet. Certain kinds of stupid. I mean, it's very much a modesty catchphrase, I guess, and lowering the bar so you don't think I'm talking about, Mozart here. But yeah, no, I think a big part of the appeal of most of the stuff that I make is that it's stupid in a Beavis and Butthead kind of way, but it makes you laugh anyway. It's like this is something a child would think of. This doesn't make any sense. This is filtered through several layers of Google Translator, and it's just, it shouldn't be funny, but it is. So that's usually what I'm looking for when I'm trying to come up with a video idea, is something that is funny in spite of itself, I guess.
Have you ever made a video that you didn't think was stupid? Like you were trying to be like serious?
Kinda, yeah.
Like
Yeah, no, I've made like a couple music videos for songs that weren't comedic like that, and I'm trying to think. No, not really. I've made music that falls under that category, and I've made videos that kind of fall under that category too. So sometimes I just want to upload something pretty or something. Yeah, so it's not all, ridiculous, but most of the popular things are ridiculous, so I'm kind of encouraged to make something as stupid as Brody Quest or along those lines.
What is your process like as far as having an idea for something like this might be funny, and then taking it to a completed project? Like, what did you self-edit these ideas, or you just kind of like start out with a small thing and decide if you like it? What's that process like?
Yeah, well, back in the day, I wouldn't have to put much work into any project I made because I was just younger and I didn't have the attention span. So things would go from conception to finish really fast. Like the first Potter Puppet Palace animation, although it's pretty good, probably the best like animation I've been able to make. I made it like in one night. Like I got the idea, I recorded the voices, wrote the script, I did it all like in 1 or 2 nights. Today, it's kind of like that, but I'll have an idea, I'll put it in a text file, and I won't touch it for like a month. Or there's still like variation in terms of how long it takes to create something. But also having everything from YouTube to Twitter to Tumblr gives me like a whole bunch of different avenues for different jokes, different ideas. If something spins into a big project or a video project, then I can upload it to YouTube once it's done. If something really doesn't have a life past, 150 characters, then it becomes a Twitter joke. So yeah, there's like a wide degree of creative processes that I can take with different ideas depending on how I'm feeling at the moment. Or I think that's kind of what a lot of people do now that there's so many different levels of content, website things, such as the ones I mentioned a second ago. Next question.
How often do you start working on an idea and then decide, this really doesn't do it for me? And then, like, how long does it take before you decide that?
That definitely happens. I'm trying to think of a good example. No, like a lot of like bad ideas come from talking to friends and realizing that like nobody else will think that's funny, or like that's really offensive and we'll get in a lot of trouble for making that. I've had plenty of projects and songs that I got tired of, or I just kind of noodled at it for indefinitely. I noticed that a lot more with music because the way I make music is I will make it all digitally from the start, and I'll layer instrument over instrument. And I have songs that I work on for years, and then one day I was like, this sounds like something I would have made 2 years ago. I don't want to make it anymore. So that doesn't happen so much with videos because they're just harder to make. But I do have I have text files with ideas for videos that never end up getting made or stuff like that. But yeah, it happens occasionally, but I don't have that many ideas that I need to throw out any. Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to say something. Drawing on what that guy said about how he keeps saying stupid and stupid. Very like the internet. We think that. I'm speaking hopefully on behalf of everybody. Very creative and smart.
Thanks.
I think people are just kind of curious to find out, why. How do you get such creative ideas instead of thinking that it's funny? I went to PAX East, the game convention. I was talking to these weird Japanese escape room games. I'm like, this is gonna sound really nerdy, blah blah blah. And they're like, you are, dressed as a zombie at a game convention. They're like, you don't have to say that it's nerdy.
Yeah, maybe better word would be normal or par for the course, but yeah, no, I just like the word stupid a lot, and sure, yeah, stupid. Or you can spell it however you want because it's stupid, I guess you're right. I don't need to. I don't need to be too. I don't know. I don't know how self-aware you want to be at this kind of thing, but.
When you talk about it anyway, it's everybody else, that's not in the room. You probably would say that. It's just strange. I guess it's just strange.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
A lot of people like stupid things.
God, I don't know. Well. Yeah, like I mentioned before, it's kind of the Beavis and Butthead humor, and I guess Monty Python's a really good example of something that just is ridiculous and comes from a weird place that's not intellectual at all, but I don't know. It's just, I think it's because when you're really young, like the first things you laugh at are pretty stupid. And you don't necessarily outgrow that. You just gain other kinds of appreciations for other levels of artwork, but you still have that baby laugh in you somewhere, maybe. That's one theory.
One of your videos is the top YouTube search results for Ben Bernanke.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear stories about people that are looking for like clips of Ben Bernanke talking and see your video instead? Like, is that how people discover you?
Sometimes I really get proud when I like discover that I'm in the top Google results for like Adrian Brody. If you search Adrian Brody, which Adrian Brody probably does every day, then you see a picture of Adrian Brody in Brody Quest, and if you click on it, then actually Adrian Brody has seen it, according to somebody I know who knows him at least twice, and he thought it was funny, so that's good. But yeah, like that with Ben Bernanke, that kind of thing is all over YouTube. I don't know how often people search Ben Bernanke on YouTube, but I want to see videos of the chairman of the Federal Reserve.
The second one is just been talking about something. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if Ben Bernanke ever said like, hey, great video or something.
No. That guy's got more on his plate right now. He probably doesn't watch a lot of YouTube. Adrian Brody probably does. Ben Bernanke probably doesn't. That's the difference between those two people.